The day's other headlines begin in the Middle East, where a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas may be at risk. Hamas says it will delay the further release of hostages, accusing Israel of breaking parts of the 6-week ceasefire agreement. So far, 5 swaps have freed 21 Israeli hostages and over 700 Palestinian prisoners. Hamas left the door open for the next exchange, it says, if Israel abides by its obligations. Meantime, more comments from President Trump have the potential for inflaming tensions in the region. He told Fox News that under his proposed U.S. takeover of Gaza after the war, Palestinians who leave would not be allowed back.
Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians have the right to return?
Spent. No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing.
That contradicts comments from administration officials, including White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said last week that Palestinians would be temporarily relocated. President Trump has also pardoned former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. The president already commuted his 14-year sentence for corruption during his first term. Blagojevich was once on Mr. Trump's show, Celebrity Apprentice, and Politico reports that he's under consideration to be ambassador to Serbia. Romanian President Klaus Iohannis says he will resign after months of pressure and as he was set to face an impeachment vote. Iohannis is term limited, but after Romania's top court controversially scrapped an election back in December, it also kept him in office until a new presidential election in May. In the face of protests and a growing number of lawmakers who've said his extended term was illegal, Iohannis said an impeachment process would have only caused more pain.
To spare Romania from this crisis, this useless and negative evolution, I resign from the position of President of Romania, and I will leave the day after tomorrow, February 12th.
Romania's Senate president is supposed to fill the role of acting leader until the new election is held. Opening statements started today in the trial of the man accused of stabbing author Salman Rushdie on stage at a lecture back in 2022. 27-year-old Hadi Matar had pleaded not guilty to attempted murder and assault. Rushdie was stabbed more than a dozen times, leaving him blind in one eye and paralyzed in one hand. The Indian-born British-American novelist had been a target of death threats for years after publishing his 1988 novel, The Satanic Verses. He's expected to testify during the trial. In Hawaii, a $4 billion settlement for victims of the 2023 Maui wildfire can finally move forward after months of legal delays. The state's Supreme Court ruled today that insurance companies may not take their own legal action against those blamed for the fires, including Hawaiian Electric Company. Insurers insisted they had the right to do so in order to recoup money paid out to policyholders. The case now goes back to a Maui judge for next steps. The fire was the deadliest in the U.S. in more than a century. On Wall Street today, across-the-board gains to start the new week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rebounded from last Friday's worst loss in nearly 4 weeks, while the Nasdaq shot up by almost a full percentage point. The S&P 500 also posted a solid gain. And Eagles fans can keep riding the high from last night's Super Bowl victory all week long. The team's star quarterback, Jalen Hurts, enjoyed a day at Walt Disney World, and the Birds will parade through Philadelphia on Friday, Valentine's Day, to celebrate their landslide 40-22 win against the Kansas City Chiefs.
You Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions!
Last night, watch parties across the city ended with cheers, even some tears from elated fans who then poured into the streets in droves. It's the second time the Eagles have taken home the Lombardi Trophy, denying the Chiefs their chance at the first three-peat in NFL history. Still to come on the NewsHour, the former acting Secretary of Homeland Security discusses the Trump administration's immigration agenda. A look at how the courts may serve as a check on the Trump presidency. And the insurance crisis laid bare by the devastating California wildfires leaves victims in financial straits.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.